Hello everybody, I'm the Guitar Geek. Welcome to On the Bench, and I want to start off this week by saying a massive thank you to everybody that watched the last video in which I mentioned that my cameras were stolen, and so many people reached out and said that they were really sorry, and basically the comments is full of very nice things said by very nice people. A big thank you to Heath Williamson and Carmen Rago, I hope I'm saying those names right, who both joined my Patreon. Carmen Rago at $50 to help me get new cameras, I guess. And that's mind-blowing. That's really awesome that so many nice people reached out. And a special thanks to those two, Heath and Carmen, for basically helping me get new cameras, I guess. Obviously, I have cameras because I'm talking to you right now. Hello, hello, hello. But these are the cameras from my studio, and I didn't really want to use these because I'm in the garage now. Needless to say, I will be taking these back inside once I've finished with them. Actually, some people mentioned that I should have a security camera installed because that would have been a good idea. However, I've now installed one, so now I have security camera and alarm on the garage. And thanks to the people at Crime Watch, I've got a reconstruction of how the robbery may have happened. So check this out. That's all we've got to go on. I don't think the cameras are coming back, but if they ever do, maybe I'll recover that lost footage, which I guess is the most important thing because I was really proud of what I did with the guitar. However, as you can see, it's back here on the bench and it's ready to have the stain, which I am double scared about. On to the staining. I've got some rubber gloves, firstly. I think this is probably the most important thing. I don't want to stain my hands. I'm double bagged and ready to go. I also want to say thank you to the people that left comments when I asked how would you go about staining this guitar. I had some water-based stains here for a while, and I've never really trusted that those were the right things to use. So a lot of people recommended this, well, not particularly this one, but a leather stain. Angelo's, I think, was the one people recommended, but I think it's from America. Anyway, I couldn't get it here in time, and I found this, Phoebing's, I believe, leather dye black. So let's give that a go. What I'm going to do first is move the guitar out of the way, and here I've got a bit of ply which is about the same color, I guess. I just want to do a bit of a test, which you should always do when coloring stuff. One more thing before I start, sorry to keep talking, please don't regard this as an instruction or some how-to tutorial. Maybe a sort of how not to, or at least the how-to if you're willing to possibly make some mistakes and go along the way. I'll make the mistakes for you. Let's try the test piece. There it is. I've got some paper towel. Just going to dab that and go with the grain. Okay, there we go. There we go. I was being a bit too sparing on the old stem. That looks amazing. I don't know if you can see that well on this camera. Can you see that at all? Is that in focus? The problem with having gloves on is I can't use the touchscreen on the camera. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is get rid of that. I'm going to tape up the guitar, and I've realized I've got black on my hands, so for the first time in my life, I am triple bagging it. Okay, I need to tape up the guitar, so here's my tape. And you're going to get a montage of taping now. Congratulations. Got a plastic bag here. I don't know if that's going to help. I should just, nah, I'll just tape it. That is the worst taping job I've ever seen. If I was watching a video right now with someone having taped like that, I'd be pretty upset. I've probably taped too much. There's a fine line between too much and not enough. I've taped up the guitar entirely now, there we go. And it is a terrible job. I mean, you can see that the edges down here are not tidy, and that's because I'm not trying to, or don't believe that the tape will stop the dye, but I do hope that it will discourage it, or it's me making mistakes really, me holding it around here. And here's just for, I don't know, looks. I'm going to stain it just in a moment. Before I do, I am going to try and get that faux binding around the edge, so I'm not intending to actually dye the actual, edges. So I'm just prolonging the inevitable. Let's dye this mofo. Just finished covering the guitar, and I've been called back inside the house to do some dad duties. And we're going out to a fun fair. And I didn't realize how late it was. So for you, this doesn't matter because it's instantaneous. But for me, I'm going to have to wait another 5 hours until I can start the nervous job of staining this guitar. Yes, I had a very nice time. Thanks for asking. Something has changed apart from the fact that it's now nighttime and it was daytime earlier. I have changed the taping on this. It's taped now with more accurate taping, and I've taped everything except the maple cap. I'm really going to attempt to try and put that faux binding on here, but I really don't know how it's going to go. I have sanded to 600, I think I said in the last video, whatever that was, it's 600. I'm going to stain now and then sand back again to get some of that stain in the grain. Apparently that's what we do, so off I go. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm staining. Just realised that holding the bottle like that is asking for trouble. Okay, that is black-ish. It's really ratty, like the V-dub transporter vans you see that people that have no talent in painting decide to paint and then call it the rat look. That looks like a rat. It's kind of melded in with the background now, hang on. Melded? Moulded. There, that's the edge I've done there, look. I'm really not sure about this. I'm going to go over again, so it's slightly darker, and then I'm going to sand back. I'm going to go quite intensely now. Get it on there. Still looks real ratty, like darker, but ratty. It's also shown up the scratches that were there that I didn't get out with sanding before. So I am going to sand back now, like I said I was going to do. I guess I'm fairly happy, so I'll just blotch a little bit off with a bit of paper. Again, please don't use this as an instructional how-to. Use this as to warn yourself of the dangers of not knowing what you're doing and being let loose on a guitar. Okay. I could be watching Game of Thrones right now, and instead I'm risking my reputation by recording this on YouTube. Close up with my iPhone, you can see these scratches around here, but the colour's really gone in. I've gone over the edge, but not into the mahogany. There's areas that it looks pretty good. But yeah, that's looking proper dodgy there. And the stain hasn't taken in certain places. This is a lot lighter just here. Okay, let's sand it back. Clean bench is a happy bench. Never forget that. And that is a terrible job, Mr. Ferris. I can't believe I claimed to have sanded this before. I'm ashamed. Look at it, look at these deep gouges. I don't know if they're coming up on the camera, but they're certainly coming up in front of my eyes, and they look terrible. If you were watching earlier and then went away and now you've come back, you might have thought, hang on, didn't he stain that earlier? Well, yes, I did, but I've taken almost all of the stain off again because I realized how bad the sanding job I'd done. It's now at 80. I'm going to take it up to 120, 180. I'm going to take it up to 600 again and then stain it again. It's a longer video than I expected, sorry. Technically, we are now back at the beginning of the video where I've got a 600 grit sanded guitar. However, we are kind of ahead because I've learned that I am no longer afraid of attaching stain to this, and also I learned that I did a really shoddy job on the sanding beforehand. So just getting rid of some of that dust, or all that dust, sorry. I'm ready to stain again, so gloves on, stain off, sand it back a bit, stain on, rock on. Here are the scratches I'm talking about. I'm going to try and get those out now. And here, I think I did it with the Velcro on the on the sanding block. I think I did it with that, if I'm honest. That's a bit of a shame. I'm a stupid person. Time for a spot of tiramisu. Alrighty then, get my sand on. Some say it looks a little bit like the BFG from Gibson. Doesn't it? It just looks terrible at the moment. Oh geez, I hope this goes all right. Gloves. Time to glove up. Okay, from now on I'm not going back to 180. I thought I'd leave it at 180 for a while and see what happens if I added some leather dye now at 180. Remember at the beginning of the video when I was really cautious? Nah, we're way past that. At this stage, we might end up with a slightly grey guitar. I don't know what you can see from watching the video, but from here that would look amazing if there weren't sanding lines all over it and it was clear coated. I'm quite disappointed. I might have to sleep on it and come back to it. I have to get rid of these scratches. That is now sanded again to 120. I'm going to give it a final go up. I'm going to do 150 and then give it a final, I don't know. If you're expecting a video where someone shows you how to do something, or someone who knows what they're doing demonstrates how they do it, this is not the video for you. I feel like a bit of a failure at the moment, but I'm not a quitter. So if you're going to persevere with me, I'll persevere with you. 150. Okay, even the tiramisu has failed to cheer me up at this point. Gloving up. It might be the fumes from the leather dye, but it's actually looking really good. I'm really pleased. Can you see? I've got my monitor there. It's not perfect. Don't freak out. I'm not going to do it again. But it's so much better. I'm so glad I sanded it back that last time. There's a little bit of scuffage down here. There's a scuff there. Would you hate me if I just sanded those bits back a little bit? Okay, I'll do it. I'm happy that that's a level which is acceptable. Any sanding back I do now is just to get it smooth. I'm going to stain that again, dry it off, sand it back, sand it to 180, then 240, and get it up to 400. Yeah, okay. I've got to show you, it's starting to look a bit like a pair of stone-washed jeans. Look at that. I'm quite surprised how stone-washed jeans that looks. I take it back, I don't take it back, I've powered through the panic, and I really enjoy how that looks at the moment. And that, looking on the camera now, my monitor's here, I really like how that sort of stone-washed jean looks. But I'm going to keep going. I've now sanded a 320, by the way. I'm going to go to 400. So that is it. That is the final sand, and I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not going to leave it like that. That is, I don't know if it's coming well on the camera, but that looks so good. So good. I'm going to wipe it down with this tissue, kitchen roll, that's the English word, and which is probably actually scratching it more than the 600 grit. I don't know what the scratch grit of kitchen roll is. Maybe you can leave it in the comments. Before I give it those final stains, I want to bring something to your attention that I had my camera stolen, which you probably know, and I've mentioned it already in this video, and thank you for the Patreon support and the well wishes. However, I have something else that I'm doing, and I probably should have prepared this. There it is. This meager little collection is the sanding dust from when I sanded this originally, and I thought I'd put it on eBay just for some fun. It's going to go off at 99 cents for the initial bid, and if anyone wants to buy an original mid-90s Les Paul sanding from this very video, which is superbly viral by now, then I'll even include this piece of broken glove And if it goes anywhere that's actually going to get anywhere near me buying a camera, I'll include a hoodie as well. How's that? Okay. I'll put the link to that eBay thing in the video description. All right, this should be the one. I'm really sorry for the epic journey we've been on in this video, and if you're still watching, well done. Here it comes. I am not one for blowing my own trumpet. I say that a lot. But I love the way that looks. That genuinely has surprised me. I'm going to take my phone here and get another video. It's like a matte, it's a matte black. Oh, hey, there's a joke there. It's still drying a little bit. It still needs buffing off, of course, but look at that. You can see the grain through it. You can sort of see how rounded off the edges are as well. I'm going to have to deal with that on the sides here. I'm very surprised how well this has turned out. Probably getting seasick with that video. How's that? There we go. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to leave it for a few days, see how it sits there and stays there. Then the next video, God, so many videos. I'm going to take this tape off. I'm going to sand everything around there to keep it nice and clean. I'm going to sand the neck. Then when it's all clean, I'll sand the headstock just to clean that up a little bit, or maybe not sand it, but clean it for sure. Then when that's done, I will true oil it, and then I will do one final video where I level the frets, I put the hardware in, I string it up, and then I play it. That's the plan anyway. I hope you'll stay with me for the next few videos. Thank you so much for watching. That has been a journey, and it is all about the journey, not the destination, remember. So thank you for watching. I really thought I was going to fail this one, and I might even title the video Fail or something like that, because that's how I felt. You've made it to the end, congratulations, or you've skipped it to the end, and that's very, very naughty, tut tut. In the comment section, go write me how many pairs of gloves I went through in that video. There's only one right answer, and we'll see who wins for 1,000 squadrillion Austrian internet points. Thumbs up also helps, and subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. See you soon. Bye-bye.